I think that it is very often coincidental what we will become. It is by coincidence a lot of things happens. It's by coincidence we often take standpoints. But while we have taken a standpoint, while we have acted, the rest of our actions, the rest of our views is to justify what we've already done. We start a path very much randomly, not totally randomly, but we shall not underestimate the coincidence. So no matter how much information we can obtain, it doesn't help if the most of your time you spend your efforts justifying what you already think, what you already see. Education and information are totally different issues. When I teach, I have to also tolerate those who are intolerant. I have to accept that there are different views in my classroom, and some of the views are, of course, unacceptable, but in the teaching process, they have to be allowed to be present. So we have a basic agreement in my teaching units. We do not say or do anything that is intended to harm someone within the classroom or outside. Sometimes we see the world in a harmful way, but without intention to hurt anyone. This is just how we see the world. And I have to allow my students to express their views, or else I will not be able to teach, I will not be able to discuss with them. So I think this is one of the bases to put my students, but not only students, also in other contexts, to put the person I'm discussing in a position where he or she don't feel obliged to defend herself. And this is what we often do, and then we just make them more fanatic.
Information, even education, depends on the recipient's readiness to change. If the recipient is stubbornly refusing to change but eager to change others, then no information will change him or her, and no education will change him or her. Look at the president of Iran, Ahmadinejad. This man claims emphatically that there was never a Jewish Holocaust in Europe, and at the same time he promises, he vows to inflict a Holocaust on the Jews of Israel. Is he for Holocaust or against Holocaust? It's not clear. It's clear that he doesn't want to change. Look at what's going on right now all over the Arabic and Islamic world. It's a momentous event, but there are two sets of clocks ticking simultaneously. There is a whole generation of young Arabs and Muslims, the internet generation, the Facebook generation, who want a change, who believe in change, who struggle for change, for openness, for democracy, for tolerance, for progress. But sometimes on the same demonstrations, there are other people, no less enthusiastic, who object any change, who want the Middle Ages, who want nothing to ever change in the society. I personally believe that the greatest tragedy of the Islamic world is the suppression of women, because the suppression of women begets a certain limitation on the children. An uneducated woman, a woman who is prevented, banned from information, banned from education, banned from change, such a woman will, by definition, become a very limiting mother, a very limiting and restricting mother. And the result is a generation after generation after generation of inhibitions, of cultural, educational, and tolerance inhibitions. But I see more hope now than I have ever seen in my life, because I do believe that those millions of young Arabs who are now demonstrating and rioting in the streets of the Arab and Islamic worlds, all the way from Iran to Morocco, from Tunisia to Yemen, from Egypt to Bahrain and Jordan and Syria. I believe many of those people are suffocating. They have had it up to here. And if those people will beget democracies in the Arab countries or in some of the Arab countries, there will be peace. There has never been war between two democracies, never in history, not once. And if there are democratic regimes in the Arab countries, then I believe peace will come to the Middle East and prevail in the Middle East.